everyone, Mickey here from Hop Cartel again. On a roll. Just got the taste for the dark beers tonight, so yum. That last one, the Caribbean Stout by Filter. Banger, such a banger. So I've been pulling a few of the stouts from the clearance bin, particularly at the Lambton Bottle Beer bottle shop. I've got Lambton Bottle Beer Festival on the brain. I keep going to say it. It's over. Let it go. But man, it was a great day. So Lambton Bottle have a clearance bin. So I tend to pull the darker beers out of that bin. Last night I had the Festive Peril, which I purchased 2 of. It was a bargain. Strong Belgian ale. I think it fared pretty well for what it was. I have had it fresh, and I've had it quite aged. Quite aged meaning, yeah, it was pretty close to out of its time. But it develops really good flavours at the tail end, and it'd probably be good way out of its time. 24 months out of its time, it'd probably really have some good flavours. So those types of beers that have that fruit cake, brandy, just intense raisins and pith, citrus peel sort of flavours, age quite well. So why not? So while I'm on the dark beer train, I'm going to jump on a Pioneer, the Black Angus. It's a limited release, also I believe taken from a clearance. I'll be honest straight up, packaged on the 30th of the 5th 2019, best before the 30th of the 5th, so we're talking what, 4 months ago, thereabouts, a little bit over 4 months, under 4, I don't know, I'm not going to do the maths right now, but it's a coffee infused IPA, so I'm guessing a black IPA. Not had it yet. Really digging these cans that have the full top open sort of set up. I'm starting to think about bottom opening, just so I can sort of pass the cans on to Jason's dad. But then again, I'm starting to run out of room on my fridge, and I'm starting to keep the cans myself, so I'm not too concerned about top opening in the cans at all, to be honest. I'm not going to pass them on, so will come a point where I will bottom open and pass them on, but that's sort of when I revisit the beers themselves. So Pioneer, Black Angus, limited release, coffee infused IPA. We're looking at a 1.7 standard drinks, 5.9%, 375ml can. I'm thinking this is going to be a banger. They are out of Bowen Park, out of South Bowen Park Road. Yeah, here goes. Oh, that sound. That's an awesome sound. So there's a few breweries around that are doing these full open top, well, these, like the can glass type cans. Oh my goodness, yes. And Ben Spoke is one of them. It's a really good design, I think. It's just like where you just want to open it up, feel like you're drinking from a glass. There's a few companies around that are making these can style glasses. Got Get Hopped. Ben Spoke would obviously be making them as well. if they're going to make their cans in that sort of range, I guess they'd probably have a range of glasses like that. There's a few around that are making these glasses out of that style of, like the can glasses. Oh, man, that smells awesome. I'm getting a little bit really, really fruity, very hoppy. A little bit of coffee off the back of it. There's probably more hops than anything, so probably should have brought some more of these. They were a good price. Like I say, they're on clearance. It's not like they're at the tail end of their life, but for an IPA, well over. I'd say 3 months is pretty much it. Saying that, but the aroma's pretty promising, so I'm not thinking this is going to be a month out, a month and a bit out. I don't think it's going to be too much of a change in what it was originally, the original flavours and original aromas. And presentation's pretty good. Nice thick, slightly compact head on top, got some sort of loose bubbles. Other than that, poured quite well. It's a great looking beer. It's a simple, nice looking can. I guess they sort of stand out in the fridge. They are unique, and they will. I got a Red Fox, which is a limited release Irish red ale. So they change their colours for each style, and their colours are quite vibrant. I'm pretty sure there's one there that's sort of bright green, sort of label, blues and kind of stuff like that. So they do stand out in the fridge, and they stand out, I think, because they have that basic label. They're sort of, like something like that sits in the fridge. It's got a nice big icon at the top, which is the wheat and the barley in a wagon wheel style sort of thing, and then the big Pioneer, and then Black Angus, like as if you're into barbecue and smoking and all that kind of stuff. Black Angus, if that doesn't jump out at you when you're in that sort of scene, I'm a member of a few of the Facebook groups that meat lovers and meat smokers and jerkies and stuff like that. If you know Angus meat and the type of cuts that come from the Angus beast, then yeah, it's one of those beers that's going to jump out. I think that's what sold it to me when I seen it. The price, firstly, probably that jumped out, and the fact that Black Angus to me just screams barbecue, smoked meat, low and slow. So very earthy. Got a very earthy flavour. Doesn't give me much information on there. Hashtag Farm Beer Oz. So I will hashtag Farm Beer Oz to Instagram, Facebook, and so on. I don't know what the earthiness is. It might be age. I don't know, but it's not a bad sort of flavour of the palate. It's definitely not there in the aroma. Slightly, maybe. So I'm going to back off that one. I'm actually going to let it warm. Hopefully it changes. I'll just brew up a little bit more. Hopefully the sound's good on this one. I did have a bit of man-child playing in the background when I'd done the Caribbean. Hopefully that wasn't too off-putting for some. So I'm going to let that warm. Yeah. I have to be honest, there's not a lot of beers that I'm not liking at the moment. I think I've discussed in previous the podcasts and on YouTube that I always find something to like about that beer. And I dig deep to find the positive in a beer. I don't like to put a lot of beers down because, let's be honest, the brewery itself, regardless of who they are, they tend to have at least 1, 2, maybe 3 really good beers amongst their core range, and that's when they go out on a limb and they do limited releases and they do experimental stuff. It becomes a no-go zone for a lot of craft beer drinkers, and they tend to, from that negative experience, not liking the taste or the smell or just the way it forms across the palate, they tend to shunt or put the brewery aside because of that one bad experience. If you like 3 or 4 of them, and you have one bad experience, why let that sway your decision to continue to support the brewery? Anyway, that's not what this video is about. It's all about the Pioneer Brewing Company's Black Angus limited release. Regardless of whether that earthiness is supposed to be part of the flavour or not, I'll have to look it up a little bit more, do some research on that beer, but I think it's genuinely supposed to be there. I don't think it's due to the age. I mean, it's what was it brewed? What did I say? Brewed on the or packaged on the 30th of the 5th this year. Where are we? The 9th month now. We're not even 5. We're not even 4 months. So we're looking 3.5 months. So it's a little bit over its time. It has been sitting in the fridge for a week and a half, 2 weeks. So it was 3 months when I got it, and I think it was priced accordingly, and it was probably caught at that moment when it probably should have been put on sale and sold off quickly. A lot of shops, I think, that they hold off on trying to get the premium on a lot of the beers, and it's not really worth it in the end of the day. Do yourself a favour, check the dates. But if you're a 50 craft beer buyer, there is some really good bargains to be had, and some of those beers that are in those clearance shelves or buckets or particular, I'd like to grab those ones. I'm going to shout out to one of Danielle's shops. She's the owner of Lantern Botlo. She also owns Celebrations on Brunker Road, Adamstown. Both shops tend to refrigerate their clearance stock, or they reduce or price accordingly to the age of the beer. Move it on. It's still, I guess, it's got some premium about it. It's got some good flavour about it, and get it out there. Some you can understand when you've got hundreds and hundreds of different styles and different breweries, can sort of slip away, and that's those beers that you'll probably find that are not chilled. You'll find those in a clearance bucket, barrel, trolley, whatever it might be. If you're looking for something that's still got a little bit of flavour about it, not quite at its premium, not optimum sort of presentation, but still has the appeal, and you want it for a really good price, why not? That's all I can say. Fresh is best, but sometimes you've got to shop to your worth, and probably best suited to the hip pocket for most people. So it's not a bad thing. Some money to be saved and some deals to be picked up. So anyway, It is a good beer. I'm going to let it warm up and see whether it gets any better. But it's good. It's a dark beer, and that's what I'm liking at the moment. So I guess yum. That's all I can say. Cheers. Alrighty, so had a bit of dinner. I've allowed this one to warm. It's got some great lacing. That's just coats the glass really well. So, Pioneer Black Angus limited edition, limited release, coffee infused, IPA, black IPA. So, getting more coffee now as it's warmed. Still a little bit earthy, but that's tapered off and getting more coffee. Really interested to know what sort of hops is used in this, so I might send an email off, start picking some brains. Well, I might just have a look online and see whether it's listed, but I guess for those who list it online, and probably most definitely listed on their cans. A fair few breweries doing it, a lot that's not. I mean, there's plenty of room on there to be putting the hops and malt, but anyway, it's is what it is. Just noticing now, looking at the sticker on the front, Pioneer. When you look closely at the R on Pioneer, I don't know if you can pick it up there on camera, but can't quite. It's actually the little map of Australia. So some quirky little things happening on some of the labels lately, and quite interesting. So they're really enjoying that. I'd have to, not one to really score beers. I did score the filtered Caribbean at around about a 7. Based on, it's slightly different flavour, but based on that, I'd have to put this at around about the 7 as well. Not comparable by any means, but I just think for a black IPA, I've had some really good ones, and probably the recent one that I had that was really good was the one from the Jagger and the Thief from Grand Ridge. Grand Ridge's Jagger and the Thief was really, really nice. Black IPA. Had some real character about it. Excuse me, the pun, Jagger and the Thief character. But yeah, it did have some really good character about it, and one that I quite enjoyed. Man, there's a fair few out there that I've had, but that one really stood out. The Joker and the Thief from Grand Ridge really stood out to me, but I didn't mark that one. Did I do a review on it? I don't know. Anyway, memory like a sieve, as they say. I'll probably end up reviewing beers twice, and I probably reviewed the filtered Caribbean Stout before, because the description on the can just really rang a bell. And I know it's because I read the can the last time I had it. I've had it twice before that, so or that I've actually done a review on it. Those who watch the channel might want to let me know whether I did or not. Comment if I've already done it, but anyways, it's always good. Just keep going over it. You might have different thoughts about the beers after the initial tasting, so just try it again and again, and maybe again you might always get something different. That was one of the beers out of the bargain bin as well, and I'm pretty sure a beer of 7% that is a little bit over age is not really going to change much in that way. Being a tropical stout, possibly, who knows? But anyway, that's pretty good. Cheers.